Okay, so moving ahead in this lesson, we're going to talk about problem 2. And you see this no calculator symbol here at the bottom or at the right. This is a suggestion, all right? I'm giving you a strategy to do some problems where you can use mental math. And these are problems where you might see yourself in a situation like this, and it might be something where you kind of feel silly pulling out a calculator to do something that is relatively simple. But again, if you use a calculator, fine, but I want to show you strategies for using mental math in everyday kind of situations. So this problem says a movie ticket costs $7.75, a drink costs $2.40, popcorn costs $1.25. What is the total cost for a ticket, a drink, and a popcorn using mental math? So when I think about this, $7.75 is just like $7 plus 75 cents. $2.40 adding on to my bill. $2 plus 40 cents, okay? And then $1.25 is like $1 plus 25 cents. So the way I would look at this is that I could rearrange this using my commutative property, 7 plus 2 plus 1, put all the whole numbers together, group those, or rearrange those, and then add together 75 cents, 40 cents, and 25 cents. So then that makes it a little bit easier to do in my head because I have, $7 plus $2 plus $1. I'm up to $10. And then I look at this, I see 75 cents, 25 cents. That is an even dollar, so I'm up to $11. So my entire cost for that movie is $11.40. So sometimes when you're adding costs together, sometimes it helps to break it apart in the whole dollars versus the partial dollars or the cents, the decimals. So that's a case where that works out kind of nicely. So again, could you use a calculator? Absolutely, but I like the practice of just getting stronger with your mental math skills, right? So that's problem 2. Problem 3, writing equivalent expressions. So simplifying expressions. So really, what these allow us to do is part A, I'm just going to rewrite it a certain way, and then I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to rewrite this one by grouping differently. So I'm grouping together 3n. Here, this is 5 times 3n. So really this could be written as 5 times 3 times n, which is 15n. So it's just telling us that we can multiply 5 by 3 without breaking any rules, really, okay? For B, I'm going to use my commutative property. I'm going to swap the places of 7b and 8. I can do that because the order doesn't matter in addition. So I can rearrange this to be 12 plus 7b. And I'm set. Okay? And then the next one, C, it's a little bit different, but it's still multiplication on the top there. If you look at the y on the top, the y on the bottom, I could rewrite this as 6x times this fraction y divided by y. And we should be able to tell that a number divided by itself is 1. So this is 6x times 1, or just 6x. So that's kind of nice to be able to rearrange things to make it more mathematically, simple to do. So in this next example, I'm asking you to simplify each expression just like I did above. So I want you to take a minute to pause, wait a few seconds before you look at my answers, and then check to see that you're doing these correctly. Okay, so the solutions for these got it problems. I'm going to go through these and clean up some of my handwriting. So for part A, I got 9.45, and the way I could do that is I could write this as, I could change my grouping symbol to be 2.1 times 4.5 times x, and then I just multiplied 2.1 by 4.5. Use a calculator if that helps, that's fine. For part B, if you see I took 4h and 6 And I use my commutative property, again, to move those around so that I can kind of mentally see 6 plus 3 is 9, so it's 4h plus 9. And then in part C, what I did was I kind of pulled apart the multiplication here so that it's like I got m divided by m, which is 1. So that allowed me to rewrite this as 8 over 12n and then simplify the fraction, okay? So a lot of it is just kind of rearranging things and understanding that you can rearrange addition and multiplication. That's possible to do. So that's how we use those properties. This is applying the properties, which is I think a much more useful skill later on than naming them. Naming them is still important, but being able to apply them is the big thing. So you can move on to the next step in the lesson. And again, keep checking in if you have questions.